everyone, really glad to see you all again here. So today we will access chapter 2 of Geography, Interior of the Earth. First, let's learn few new terms used in this chapter. And first one is Sial. So Sial is also known as the crust of the earth. It is mostly made up of silicates of aluminium and potassium. Next is Sima. Sima is also known as the upper mantle. It is mostly made up of the silicates and magnesium minerals. Next, Nif. Nif is also known as the core. It is mostly made up of nickel and iron. Next is plastic. When we use plastic in geography or in this chapter, it refers to the semi-solid material which is capable of being moving. Next, magma. So the molten rock material in the lower mantle is known as magma. So when this magma is released onto the surface of the earth, either during volcanic eruption or due to any other force, it is known as lava. Next is mineral. So a mineral is a naturally occurring substances. For example, coal, metals, these all are minerals. Minerals may be metallic as well as non-metallic. Organic. Organic means anything which is being obtained from living matter. Inorganic things means obtained from non-living matter. Gradation. So gradation is the continuous process of leveling of the surface of the earth. Next, weathering. Weathering means breaking up of rocks into fragments or small pieces when it is exposed to wind, water, ice, etc. That means when the rocks are being exposed to the agents of gradation like wind, water, ice, etc. They break up into fragments and that is known as weathering. Now let's give reasons of the following statements. Let's read the first statement. Limestone changes into marble. So we know that metamorphic rocks may be further metamorphed or metamorphic rocks may be further changed if they are exposed to high heat and pressure for longer period of time. And due to this, limestone, which is a metamorphic rock, it can change into marble if it is being exposed to high heat and pressure for longer period of time. Next statement, the inner core is solid though it is hotter than the liquid outer core. So it is because the outer core is so hot that it is molten, but the inner core, though hotter, is under extreme pressure that it remains solid. That means due to the extreme pressure along with the high temperature, the inner core remains solid. Now let's use our knowledge to fill in the blanks. First one says the dash is the uppermost layer of the earth. So the crust is the uppermost layer of the earth, which is also known as the lithosphere. Next, the average thickness of the crust under the continents and under the sea is dash and dash kilometers respectively. So the average thickness of the crust under the continents are 35 to 70 kilometers, while under the sea it is 5 to 7 kilometers respectively. Next, the crust along with the upper mantle is called, it is known as Sima, S-I-M-A, Sima. S-I stands for silicon and Ma stands for magnesium. Next, the dash in the Deccan Plateau is made up of basaltic rocks. So the Deccan Trap region, which is in the Deccan Plateau, it is made up of basaltic rocks. Now we have to name the following things. First, 3 organic minerals. So the 3 organic minerals are petroleum, coal and natural gas. Next, 3 metallic minerals. So the 3 metallic minerals are iron, copper and gold. Next, 3 non-metallic minerals. So the 3 non-metallic minerals are silicon, sulfur and phosphorus. Next, 3 sedimentary rocks. So the 3 sedimentary rocks are shale, sandstone and conglomerate. Next, let's answer few questions now. First one says, write briefly about each of the 3 layers of the earth. Illustrate your answer with suitable diagram. So we know that the earth is made up of 3 main layers, that is the crust, the mantle and the core. So the crust. Crust is the uppermost layer of the earth. The average thickness of this layer is 35 to 70 kilometers under the continents and approximately 5 to 7 kilometers under oceanic bed. The crust of the earth is also known as Sial, Sial. The crust of the earth just forms 1% of the earth's volume. Next, the mantle. So the mantle is situated just beneath the crust. The average thickness of the mantle is 2900 kilometers. The mantle is divided into two parts, that is upper mantle and the lower mantle, and this division is based on the chemical composition. The mantle is also known as Sima, S-I-M-A. The mantle is a semi-solid plastic zone and its average temperature is 3000 degrees Celsius. The next layer is the core. So the core is the innermost layer of the earth. It's approximately 3500 kilometer thick. The outer core is 2300 kilometer thick and it is hot and molten, while the inner core is 1200 kilometer thick. The inner core is hotter than the outer core, but due to extreme pressure it remains solid. Therefore it is also known as solid core. Also, you need to draw the diagram which reflects the three layers of the earth: the crust, mantle and the core. Next, what are rocks? So the outermost layer of the earth is made up of solid material, and these solid materials are known as rocks. So rocks are usually the solid substances. They are formed by one or more minerals which naturally occur on the earth's surface. Rocks vary in their mineral content, size and texture. That means different types of rocks are there and they all are different in the context of their mineral content or size or texture. The examples of rocks are sandstone, gypsum, dolomite, marble, limestone, etc. etc. Next, what are the three types of rocks? Explain the formation of each with examples. So the three types of rocks are the igneous rocks, the metamorphic rocks and sedimentary rocks. So first, let's discuss the formation of igneous rocks. So the word igneous is derived from the Latin word ignis, and ignis means fire. These igneous rocks are formed when the hot lava that flows out during the volcanic eruptions cool down and solidifies over a period of time. These igneous rocks are also called primary rocks. The example of the igneous rocks is basalt. Next, sedimentary rocks. So, what happened? Over a period of several thousand years, various sediments which are being carried by agents of gradation like water, ice, wind and the sea, these get deposited in layer over the earth. So sedimentary rocks are formed when these deposited materials are cemented over time due to pressure exerted by the upper layers, and the examples of the sedimentary rocks are shale, sandstone and conglomerate. Next, metamorphic rocks. So the existing rocks, that means the existing rocks means the igneous as well as the sedimentary rocks. So these igneous existing rocks metamorph or they change completely under the condition of intense heat and pressure, and thus new kinds of rocks called metamorphic rocks are being formed. Metamorphic rocks may be further metamorphed, that means they can be further changed if they are being exposed to intense heat and pressure even for a longer period of time. Some examples of metamorphic changes include the changing of clay into slate, changing of limestone into marble, and change of coal into diamond. Now let's differentiate between extrusive and intrusive rocks. So what are extrusive rocks? So the primary rocks which are formed on the surface of the earth, they are known as extrusive rocks. These extrusive rocks have a fine grained structure. Their example is basalt. Now intrusive rocks. So how intrusive rocks are formed? So when magma that gets trapped in the veins deep inside the earth, it cools down over a period of time and forms rocks called intrusive rocks. These intrusive rocks have crystalline nature and their example is granite. Next, what are minerals? What is the difference between organic and inorganic minerals? So, minerals are naturally occurring substances that are usually solid and inorganic. Inorganic means non-living. Minerals have a definite chemical composition and crystalline nature. So, let's differentiate between organic and inorganic minerals. So, organic minerals are formed over millions of years from the buried remains of plants and animals. For example, fossil fuels like coal and petroleum are organic minerals. What are inorganic minerals? So, inorganic minerals can be metallic as well as non-metallic. For example, iron, which is an example of metallic minerals. On the other hand, sulfur, which is an example of non-metallic mineral. Now, next is draw a neat diagram showing the rock cycle and explain it. So first of all, you need to draw this diagram in your notebooks neatly. Now let's explain the rock cycle. So the rock cycle shows the formation of different types of rocks. It shows that how molten magma during volcanic eruption cools and solidifies to form igneous rocks. When these rocks are subjected to weathering and erosion, sediments are formed. When deposited materials are cemented over time due to pressure exerted by the upper layers, sedimentary rocks are formed. And when sedimentary and igneous rocks are exposed to intense heat and pressure, they become metamorphic rocks. So first of all, igneous rocks are formed. With the help of igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks are formed, and with the help of igneous and sedimentary rocks, the metamorphic rocks are formed. And under the extreme heat, every rock melts to become magma, and thus rocks transform from one shape to another. So this is clearly being depicted in the diagram of the rock cycle. Next, enumerate the uses of rocks. So rocks on breaking down provide the mineral content in the soil, which in turn provides nutrients and thus supports agriculture. Hard and large blocks of rocks are used for construction work, while rocks with adequate mineral content, also known as ores, these are being utilized for the industrial needs. Also, minerals like precious metals and gemstones are also used in making jewelry. So this was all for today's video. I hope the video was helpful to you. In case you have any query, any doubt, please comment and also like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.